Hey everyone, it's Hazel West, indie author and book blogger again, back with my July reading wrap up of 2015. So this month I actually read pretty much my quota of summer books, and I got to read 13 books this month, which is kind of a record. Now, granted, most of them are shorter, but I also did get a week where I pretty much read like 5 books too. So that was nice. And I really had a lot of good reads this month. So the first one I read was 127 Hours on the Moon by Johan Harstad. This was a book that was recommended to me a long time ago by my friend Mara at the Reading Hedgehog. She was she said that this was one of the creepiest books she ever read, and of course I had to read it. So, it definitely was one of the creepiest books I've ever read. Because it takes a lot to freak me out, but this one definitely did it. And I read it in the house alone at night, so that definitely made it even better, in my opinion. Um, but essentially, it's definitely, it's not sci-fi, even though that's what it sounds like. It's actually very much horror and kind of in a Twilight Zone kind of style, to where the ending definitely is hanging, but I think that made it even cooler. So this one got 4 out of 5 stars, and I really enjoyed this. After that, I read Bone Chiller by Graham McNamee, and this was another one that I read alone at night. It wasn't as scary though. This this is the first of his books that I read, but I picked a couple of them up at the library because they sounded good. And this one, I gave 3 out of 5 stars too. It was a good book. I really enjoyed it for like a horror supernatural kind of book. It actually had really good characterization, and I really liked the characters. Um, Whereas I didn't connect totally with the characters in the like 172 Hours on the Moon. That one was more atmospheric. This one actually was almost more character driven. And it wasn't, I didn't get really scared with this one. To other people might, but to me it was more like folklorish, supernatural than really like horror. But I still did enjoy it, and it was a nice quick read. After that, I picked up the other book by Graham McNamee I got, called Acceleration. This is not supernatural. This is just a thriller mystery about a boy who finds the diary of a serial killer, or a to be serial killer, and it was really good. I actually read this one in like a few hours because it's really short, but it also is really fast paced. And I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars because I really liked it. It wasn't. It definitely was not as gritty and realistic as books like I Hunt Killers and stuff, but it still had. It still was pretty good, and the ending was definitely kind of scary. So this was also a good one, and I really look forward to reading more of his books now because I've liked both of the ones that I read. After that, I picked up Ghost House by Alexandra Andornetto. Um, this was the first of her books I read. I've never really been interested in them up until I saw this one, and I really didn't know what else she wrote anyway. I just picked this one up at the library. This one I gave 3 out of 5 stars. It was it was not bad. In fact, I actually ended up liking this book a lot more than I expected to. I think there were only a couple characters I really connected to, and that was the girl's younger brother and um, another character named Joe. I liked him, and um, but as far as like the atmosphere and the setting and the ghosts and stuff, this was a really cool book, and it was kind of creepy in parts. And of course, it's set in England in a manor house, so you can't really go wrong with that. And then there were two ghost hunting sisters, which was cool. They were funny. So this, yeah, this was more like an entertainment book for me. I didn't really expect to love it anyway, but it did keep me entertained. So it was a 3 out of 5 star one. And it was a good between read too, so yep, that was okay. After that I picked up Gilded by Christina Farley, which I got when I met her at the author event at the library back in June. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was really good, a quick paced book, and I did enjoy the characters a lot. Jay might not be my favorite female heroine ever, but I did like her, and I think I'd like her even better if she stopped taking herself so seriously. But I definitely look forward to going continuing this series, and I really liked learning about Korean mythology, and I would love to read more about it before I get into the second book, actually, just as personal research, because I think what I read in this was really awesome, and I'd like to definitely know more about it. So this one was 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm really looking forward to finishing the series, or trilogy, I think it is. After that, I picked up Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter by Seth Grahame-Smith. This was one I bought earlier this summer from the used bookstore, and I had to pick it up because I was like, this is what I feel like reading right now. I'm gonna have to read it sometime. So this I actually ended up giving 4 out of 5 stars because I really liked it way more than I expected to. And I think the thing that saved it was the fact that it's written like a biography. It's definitely a little strange, but it weirdly fits as well. And, you know, I do love this kind of historical novel, even though old me probably would be slapping now me for saying that. But I've loosened up a lot, let's just say that. But, so, it was definitely interesting. And I would like to read some of this author's other books just because, I don't know, I think that if I'm going to read anything like this, that he'd probably be the one I would read because I really like the way he did this. So this was probably one of the more surprising reads this summer, and it was 4 out of 5 stars. So I liked it. I did.